Boss is not playing games with their releases. First they dropped the Elixir, which I think is the best one, and now they dropped the Absolu. Let's talk about it.
Here's some codes to save you some cash on your next Middle Eastern niche or designer fragrances.
What's going on, guys? My name is Neeb. Welcome back to AROMATIX. The new Boss Bottled Absolu, as you can see, looks a lot like the Boss Bottled Elixir. So, first things first, hit that subscribe button, leave a like and all that good stuff, and let's just cut right into the bread and butter of the video. The presentation is always first, and as you can see, there's absolutely nothing brand new, and I'm not mad at it. What I do like is on the back, they give you a couple of the notes and accords, and per this, it says leather accord at the top. It's important to note that they put leather accord and not rather, or just leather as a note. So they're likely using a couple of other synthetics or chemical compounds to recreate it, and I personally detect labdanum. It's not as synthetic smelling to my nose as just a straight up leather accord, which is generally composed of a few different combinations. So the middle notes also include patchouli essence, and in the base there's cedarwood essence, but there's a lot. Oh my God, that's a serious box. But there's a lot more than just that. So some more official notes at the top include just a leather accord. That's it. In the mid, the patchouli. That's it. And in the base, we've got cedarwood essence, leather accord again, patchouli essence, and cedarwood essence again. Okay, anyways, the fragrance in itself, what does this smell like? Long story short is it smells a lot like Boss Bottled Elixir, except it's not nearly as licorice forward or heavy. It also has quite a few differences than just straight up Boss Bottled Elixir, and what I find both of them to have is that intense EDP style DNA in the very backbone of it. So with the Elixir DNA, it increased a lot of these resins, it made it more oriental, incensey, smoky, but also very, very spicy, that licorice. I love this stuff. Very projecting, spicy, warm, resinous. Now the spicy kind of takes a backseat in this one, and it includes a bit more of what seems like vanilla powder rather. It does tone down the licorice, almost completely getting rid of it actually. It increases a little bit of the woody nature of the fragrance and that leather accord, which I personally detect more specifically a labdanum. I think this is a fantastic fragrance that is a follow-up to the Boss Bottled Elixir. And in fact, what's even more prominent in this one is going to be the patchouli, a very dense, rich, almost tarry-like patchouli with a chocolate undertone. So you have like this vanillic aspects, chocolate aspects, powdery aspects, and these oriental vibes coming from those resins and the ambers as well that is still prominent in this one. I freaking loved the wearing of this fragrance, and I think that this is a fantastic fragrance. Since the Elixir, my faith in Boss has completely come back. Prior to this release, I mean, I wasn't really the craziest about the Intense Eau de Parfum. I do like Boss Bottled Parfum. I think that that's one of the most underrated ones, but then Elixir came out and it was a showstopper for me. The best Elixir, period. And now the Absolu, which I think is even freaking, I'm not gonna say better. I think for the masses, it'll be better. For me, I think Elixir is better. But for the masses, I think most of you guys will enjoy this one more. Reason being is because this is very spicy. I mean, it takes like, you gotta have hair on your chest to rock this. The bottle has hair on its chest. But this fragrance right here tones down that spice, making it more mass appealing, making it more inviting and easier to wear. So in a sense, an easier fragrance, whether or not it's better, it's really gonna be up to you. If you were to ask me if it's better, I'd personally say no. My rating for this one, which I generally don't do, but just so you can understand how much more I like the Elixir versus the Absolute, I would personally put this one at a 10, and I would place this at like a 9.5, and I almost wanted to say 9.75, so it's pretty damn close. They are similar-esque in scent profile, with having those differences being mostly in that very rich, almost mugler-like patchouli. Like, I get that, if you guys remember the old school Thierry Mugler that they discontinued and we only have what is now a shadow of it, that quality patchouli is in this one, and I think that's what really made me the most excited during the wears. I was remembering something familiar but different at the same time. So although only a few differences, like I said, the licorice is gone, adding this labdanum leather accord and the patchouli, those three main differences that I personally detect, oh, and the inclusion of cedarwood, are very intense. So although it's only a few listed, it is pretty intense in each of those differences. And main takeaway from this, that my favorite part about this is going to be the richness and the tarriness of that patchouli. This is going to be absolutely phenomenal for the fall and the winter time. I think that this is great for the winter, specifically only winter, and this will be a bit more versatile for fall and winter time. as well. So the performance for this is beastly. It's a room filler. It projects like crazy for the first 30 to an hour, after of which it does turn into a moderately projecting fragrance. You're gonna be leaving scent trails, which is still 2 to 3 feet for like 4 hours. It's there, it's present, and it remains on clothing for 10 hours plus. I would say that this is a beast mode performing fragrance, just slightly less than the Elixir. The Elixir is nuclear stuff. I wouldn't even spray this more than 6 times. Whereas this one I sprayed about 8 times and it still gave me beast mode performance. With this one, less confidence is required because it's not as challenging or as in your face of a fragrance. It has softer aspects, not as harsh and protruding or testy, if you will, in that sense. Occasions for the Boss Bottled Absolu is going to be a little bit more forgiving. I still think it's a pretty rich and sexy ass fragrance that you could easily rock for dates, special occasions, hanging out with the bros. I do think that it smells much better than just office scenting. For me, it's like, could you wear it to the office? Sure. But make sure it's in the fall and the winter time. You still could rock it to the office, just spray it less. And I personally think that I would want to dress this one up from how good it smells. So for the price, I purchased this at around $220 for a 1.6 ounce. That's a premium I pay oftentimes, more often than not, to be able to get these fragrances, pretty quickly and swiftly. Oftentimes I'm trying to get them quickly because I'm traveling a lot. And I want to get my nose on these damn fragrances like ASAP. When I heard about the Absolu, I was extremely excited, and yeah, I just picked it up like that. Final thoughts on this fragrance is Boss is killing it. Boss is absolutely killing it, and they released this very appropriately during the season of the fall, basically. I will be very interested to see how they carry on through from this one because they've set the expectations high. We can now see what you guys can do, Boss. So yeah, high hopes and expectations for the brand. They've killed it the last couple of releases and the last couple of years. So blind buy worthy. If you like rich, vanillic, I would say yes for Absolu. For bottled Elixir, no, definitely sample that one. Hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Make sure to leave a like, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Boss is not f***ing around. No, that's too demonetized.